Okay, well, it's with great pleasure that I can announce the first Street Children Champions Award. This was funded by donations that CSC raised at the First International Day for Street Children in April, and it aims to grow into an annual celebration of excellence in the field. So this is our rollout year. It's very exciting. It's really our members have nominated people, individuals who are associated with street children that exemplify impact, sustainability and good practice. It was very important for us to have an independent jury, and we asked Paul Nolan, Director of Global Child Protection Services, Jill Martin, journalist from The Telegraph, who's done a lot of work with us this year, championing issues to do with street children in Great Britain, and Kate Eweed, the Safeguarding Children Development Officer at CAFOD. And our nominees were as follows. I did take a look at the nominations and looked at the applications, and I have to say I didn't envy the judges' task. Trying to make a critical assessment of the worth of these nominations was, it just was a task of enormous proportions. Amongst the achievements were world-beating cases of best practice, heroic dedication to the cause, and a number of significant founders were nominated. I'm delighted to welcome Jill up to talk a little bit about the jury process and how they came to a decision. Jill.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm the journalist who had an assignment of the Daily and Sunday Telegraph to mark the International Day for Street Children, with a three-part series investigating conditions of street children in Delhi, Glasgow and Edinburgh. With photographer Dominic Tyler, I witnessed the work of agencies giving hope and support to just some of the millions of street children by getting them off the streets and into classrooms and work projects. In a Delhi dawn, I sat in the rubble of a dusty building site to talk to a group of boys who sleep rough, sniff solvent, get beaten up by the police and scavenge for rubbish to earn barely enough to eat. I interviewed Scottish teenagers who had survived suicide attempts, binge drinking, family abuse and gang violence. What shines through the desperation and deprivation is the spirit of these children and the dedication of those working to help and inspire them in face of complacent governments and social apathy. The youngsters' stories were sometimes disturbing, often harrowing and always moving, but what left an equally indelible impression was the determination and compassion of those who champion each child to achieve their ambitions. So I was delighted to be asked to help judge the Street Child Champions Awards. It really was an outstanding quality of all 19 applicants, which made it a really tough task, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of the other judges as well. So I'm going to pass you back to Marcus, because he's going to announce the winner. Drum roll.
So, the winner. He's worked in the field for 30 years, has co-founded 5 pioneering third sector organisations, 3 in Africa and 2 here in the UK. They've conducted significant research in the field and spoken at the UN. But perhaps most importantly, this particular individual has been an unwavering champion for the voice of the street child in our work. He is the P in participation. Please can I welcome to the stage here's a wonderful piece of paper that I've signed for you. Worth absolutely nothing, and here's a cheque worth quite a bit. So I'll pass you over to perhaps just give a few words to the crowd. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the judges. I got a shock I had actually, not that I don't read my emails, but those of you who know me know that I'm not really a geek, and if people who assist me are not around, a lot of things go missing. Ask Louise. Sorry, Louise. So I didn't realise this was going to happen, so I got a double shock, and I just have to say thank you. I have to tell you that I've just started a piece of research. The pilot in Ghana has proved to me that I've been asking the wrong question. So all those years ago doing economics, I was taught to ask the right question, and I forgot the lesson. I'm now asking the right question, I hope, and I'm going to pilot in Harare because I feel that we will offer for Africa two pictures. One of Ghana, which believes in its own rhetoric but is actually calm and stable but doesn't know what to do with its street children, and one in Harare which is not calm and not stable and equally doesn't know what to do with its street children. And what we're finding in the African context, as opposed to, say, the Indian context, which I learn a lot from many of you in this room, because all I know about is Africa, is that I'd forgotten that African movement to slums is not linear, it's circular. So in other words, what I heard just now in your report on the judging, the capabilities is the word you used, and we've gone back to Amartya Sen to look for the child's capabilities, and if the child's capabilities means he stays in the slum and the street, that's where we have to be. And enforced reunification and everything else actually in the end doesn't work, and I've said that all my life, since a small boy of 10 on the street taught me a wonderful lesson 25 years ago. So that's enough of the lecture. Thank you very much, Marcus.
So it falls to me to thank you all for your input today, your patience with our technology. We're obviously not a technology charity. And I look forward to welcoming you back here next year to listen to even more stories about the impact we've had together. So we're louder together, and we're proud to be with you. Thank you very much.